Hello Dungeon Masters. In this video, we're going to change things up just a little. I am a lifelong games master, so I thought I would add a little of that to the map making process you all like watching. Hopefully, I can help newer GMs with the thinking behind my maps, as well as the act of actually designing them. I've decided to add some descriptive text for each of the rooms, so if you wanted to make your own version of this map, you don't have to come up with all that exposition on your own. Hopefully, as you listen and watch, it will inspire you to add this location, or poi as I like to call them, to your campaign. If you like the descriptions and see them as good value, then drop me a comment to let me know if you want to see more of them. We all love a dungeon crawl, so I decided to make a map in the same theme as last week. We follow the bandits back to their hiding place. We'll be making a bandit stronghold, built in the undercroft of a long destroyed or ruined castle. So perhaps you could have one of the bandits give away the location for their freedom, or maybe one of them has a map or some letters that lead the players back to their home if the party have left no one to question. I also haven't forgotten that you've requested a video with some tips and tricks on how I come up with my maps and how I use Dungeon Alchemist. I will try to add more of these tips in the future. I will say that Dungeon Alchemist is updated extremely regularly, so always check the age of the video you are watching, as my tip could be old and DA may have added a better way to do things. So the first thing I do whenever I create a map is to get a good basic outline drawn and a simple idea of the challenge I want my players to overcome. I don't really think about how they will do that, as no plan survives first contact with my players. So I just make sure I have options for dealing with their free will and insane choices. The next thing is to start making rooms. Is it better to start with one and deep dive, or should you putter about a little with all of them at once? It's really up to you, but for me, I like to pick one room and get it mostly done before moving on to the next. Over time, I've learned that it can be difficult to come up with all the rooms before I've started the first. I let my brain deal with that in the background whilst I start small with something like a storage room. I make sure to add a ladder in the room to suggest a secret way into the undercroft if my party randomly decide they don't want overt actions this time. I of course will add a front door for them to kick down, so that option also exists. One reason I enjoy Dungeon Alchemist is because it allows me to quickly build a map and decorate it to my heart's content. This can mean I spend 10 minutes on a map I will use for multiple hours, or in this case around 1 hour. Sometimes the maps will only be used for a short moment. Such is role-playing life, so make sure you have fun whilst making them. Right, on to the descriptions for each room for you to listen to whilst you watch me create them. So the storage room, or I'm just going to call it room 1. A dimly lit 15 foot by 50 foot storage room that bears the weight of ages. The air is thick with the musty scent of ancient stone and dust. A faint chill hangs in the air, as if the very walls themselves remember the grandeur that once filled these halls. That, or the hole in the roof, allows the warm air to escape and allows the cold to settle in this room. To the south, towering stacks of dilapidated wooden crates create a makeshift barrier against the dampness seeping through the castle's foundations. The boxes, covered in a thin layer of grime, seem untouched by time. Their contents concealed beneath layers of worn canvas and frayed rope. Curiosity lingers in the air, tempting adventurers to uncover the secrets hidden within these forgotten containers. Along the northern wall, worn wooden shelves stand as silent sentinels, displaying remnants of a bygone era. Dusty pots, cracked potion vials, ancient tomes that water damage has made unreadable line the shelves, bearing witness to the passage of countless years. The occasional cobweb stretches between the forgotten relics and doodads. The latrine, or room 2. Entering the second chamber within the ruins, your party finds themselves in a 15 foot by 50 foot space. The air is heavy with the acrid scent of decay. The room shows the passage of time in the form of shattered barrels and splintered furniture scattered haphazardly across the worn stone floor. Clearly a dumping ground. Broken and discarded barrels, their wooden bodies splintered and leaking a pungent odour. The contents of these barrels, long since spoiled, adds an unpleasant layer to the atmosphere. Jagged shards of wood protrude from the debris, posing a potential hazard to the unwary. Ruined pieces of once proud furniture now lie in disarray, their former grandeur reduced to a jumble of fractured wood and faded upholstery. At the far end of the room, a bed of straw covers the ground surrounding a grimy grate, revealing the room's grim purpose as a makeshift latrine. The stench is overpowering, and the sight of the makeshift facility serves as a stark reminder of the less glamorous aspects of bandit life. Buckets, partially filled and seemingly abandoned, are scattered around the room. Cloister description, room 3. You stumble upon a haunting cloister, stretching 30 feet by 50 feet, revealing an atmosphere both eerie and mystical. The space is illuminated by an otherworldly glow emanating from strange blue crystals, embedded in the walls, casting a cold white light that dances across the worn stone walls and floor. Against the northern, eastern, and western walls, there are 3 weathered altars that stand as silent witness to the forgotten rituals. Each altar tells a distinct story, painting a vivid picture of the cloister's mysterious past. To the north, an imposing black statue of a priestess looms, holding a raised sword as if to ward off unseen malevolence. The priestess's visage is stern, and her eyes seem to follow your every move with an uncanny watchfulness. Shadows play across the intricately carved details, giving an illusion of life to the otherwise motionless figure. On the eastern side, an eerie scene unfolds, as a demonic figure crouches above an offering bowl. The bowl, filled with a grotesque heart, seems to pulse with a sinister energy. The demon's eyes glow an ominous red, and its leathery wings are stretched wide, as if frozen during some unholy ritual. The atmosphere on this side of the cloister is thick with an otherworldly malevolence, a warning perhaps to those who would deal with devils. The western altar, however, tells a sad tale of desecration. A vandalized statue of a knight lies in ruin, its head resting by its feet, and the offering bowl has been shattered into pieces. The once noble figure now bears the scars of deliberate defacement, a poignant reminder of the darkness that has infiltrated this sacred space. Interestingly, the bowl has been wiped clean. Perhaps the defender still has at least one loyal to them. As your party traverses the cloister, the strange blue crystals flicker and hum, casting ever-shifting shadows across the room. The air is thick with an unmistakable energy, and the combination of the mystical lighting and the altars creates an ambience that suggests the sanctum holds secrets waiting to be unveiled. Alchemist's Laboratory, Room 4. Your journey under the ruined castle brings you to another 30-foot by 50-foot chamber, a hidden sanctuary of alchemical wonders. The air is tinged with the scent of rare herbs and potent concoctions, creating an intoxicating ambience within the room. Dim light provided by strange tables and instruments gently bathes the space, revealing a treasure trove of alchemist devices and enchanting oddities. Covering the stone floor are 3 intricately woven rugs of varying sizes, each bearing its own unique pattern and design. Their vibrant colours add a touch of warmth to the otherwise clinical surroundings, inviting adventurers to explore the secrets concealed within the alchemical haven. Arranged along the edges of the room are small planters, each harbouring an assortment of peculiar mushrooms and flowers. These exotic plants, strangely thriving without the need for natural light, contribute to the room's mystical aura. The vibrant hues and unusual shapes of the flora hint at the alchemical experiments that must have taken root here. A potion maker's table dominates the western wall, cluttered with a myriad of ingredients in neatly organised containers. A pestle and mortar stands ready for use, and various base liquids shimmer in glass vials. Rows of empty bottles waiting to be filled with completed potions hint at the alchemist's craft. The table is a testament to the artistry of potion making, promising untold possibilities for those skilled enough to decipher the concoctions that could be created here. In the southeast corner, a mysterious table stands, its purpose unknown. Runes and symbol adorn its surface, and a soft pulsating glow emanates from beneath. It suggests a latent power waiting to be unleashed. The purpose of this magical table remains unclear, sparking the curiosity of any adventurer daring enough to unravel its arcane secrets. As your party explore the chamber of arcane alchemy, the air crackles with latent magics from the devices around the room. Hammock Room, Room 5. Your party stumbles upon a cramped 20-foot by 25-foot chamber, serving as the makeshift abode for a group of low-ranking bandits. The air within is thick with the musky stench of unwashed bodies, and the flickering light of a few meagre candles casts feeble shadows on the rough stone walls. A motley collection of hammocks strung up haphazardly occupies the majority of the room, forming a chaotic web of makeshift bedding. Each hammock sags under the weight of its occupant. The occupants having left behind the trappings of personal hygiene and comfort, the air resonates with the gruff snores and occasional mutters of sleeping marauders, hinting at the unrest that defines their crude lifestyle. Simple chests scattered across the chamber serve as repositories for the bandits' meagre belongings. These weathered containers, hastily thrown together from rough-hewn wood, are barely sufficient to store the pilfered spoils of their illicit activities. The room's disarray suggests that organisation and discipline are not among these bandits' strengths. Dimly lit by a sparse scattering of candles, the room is only partially revealed in the feeble light. Bunk bed room, Room 6. Proceeding through the ruins, your party discovers another chamber that serves as the living quarters for a slightly more organised group of marauders. The air is less oppressive than the previous den, and the flickering light of 2 torches on either side of the door offers a more illuminating glow. Arranged within the chamber are 4 sturdy bunk beds, each adorned with coarse blankets and meagre pillows. Despite the simplicity, these bunk beds provide a semblance of order, offering marked improvements over the chaotic hammocks of their lower-ranked counterparts. Adjacent to each bunk bed stands a small chest serving as a private repository for personal belongings. The inclusion of these chests afford the marauders a measure of privacy, a luxury not afforded to those in the earlier den with the hammocks. The chests, though modest, hint at the hierarchical structure among the bandits, where a certain degree of trust and organisation exists. The torchlight reveals the room's modest attempts at cleanliness. The walls, while still bearing the scars of neglect, appear less grim, and the air carries a faint scent of oil from the burning torches. The atmosphere in this room suggests a group of marauders who, while still living on the fringes of society, have managed to carve out a slightly more stable existence. The 2-bed bedroom, Room 7. Entering a similar-sized chamber, your party discovers the well-appointed resting place of the high-ranking bandits who command this desolate domain. The air in this room carries the subtle hint of refinement and the subdued glow of well-maintained furniture in the light that bathes the surroundings. Prominent within the chamber are 2 lavish beds adorned with soft fabrics and clean pillows. The sturdy wooden frames and intricately carved headboards speak to the elevated status of the occupants. The meticulous arrangement of the bedding suggests a level of luxury seldom seen, reserved only for those who have risen to the upper echelons of the ruthless hierarchy. In contrast to the Spartan chests seen in the lower-ranking quarters, this room boasts personal furniture, a pair of elegant wooden dressers and a small vanity adorned with a tarnished mirror. The presence of such furnishings indicates a degree of comfort and self-indulgence not commonly associated with the harsh life of a bandit. The flickering light casts gentle shadows that dance across the well-maintained stone floor. The air is surprisingly devoid of the stench that permeated the lower-ranking dens, replaced by a faint scent of perfumed oils and polished wood. The sanctum of the bandit lords exudes an air of authority, hinting at the influence wielded by those who call this chamber their own. 4-poster room, Room 8. Your exploration through the ruins leads you to another chamber, a private sanctum that unmistakably belongs to a bandit king, ruling over this stronghold. The air carries an air of authority, and the subdued glow of a flickering candelabrum adds a touch of nobility to the room. Dominating the southern wall is a slightly worn four-poster bed, its once luxurious canopy and drapes hinting at former opulence. The thick blue rug at the foot of the bed adds a touch of comfort and colour to the room, contrasting with the otherwise muted surroundings. Against the western wall stands a set of more refined furniture, including a polished writing desk, quills, inkwells, and scattered parchments, suggesting a place where strategic plans are devised and secrets are penned. The presence of such furnishings elevates this chamber beyond the ordinary, emphasising the Bandit King's penchant for both power and intellect. On the northern wall, a small tub for washing stands alongside a dresser and a closet. The subtle scent of perfumed soap lingers in the air, suggesting a rare indulgence in cleanliness. The presence of the closet hints at a collection of finer garments reserved for occasions when the Bandit King steps out of the shadows and into the world. A brush and bucket sit in the corner, collecting a thin layer of dust, indicating a recent lack of use, perhaps a vestige of an earlier time when the Bandit King still cared for such details, or perhaps a symbol of a ruler who's grown indifferent to the trappings of comfort. The Tavern, Room 9. Venturing deeper into the ruins, your party stumbles upon a sprawling 50-foot by 55-foot chamber, transformed into a makeshift tavern. The air is thick with the mingling scents of stale ale, hearty meals, and the bustling activity of the bandits who have converted this space into their communal haven. 5 wooden tables scattered throughout the room are laden with mismatched cutlery, bowls, and the remnants of discarded meals. The atmosphere is lively, with the bandits engaged in boisterous conversations, their raucous laughter echoing against the worn stone walls. The makeshift tavern exudes a sense of camaraderie, as if the bandits have found solace and kinship within the walls of this hidden refuge. The eastern wall plays host to a makeshift bar, adorned with 4 barrels of varying shades between brown and red, presumably containing beer or mead. Behind the bar, a small cooking station hums with activity, as a bandit cook prepares simple but hearty meals to satisfy the hunger of the patrons. In the northeast corner of the room, a screened-off area reveals another aspect of the bandits' resourcefulness, a makeshift latrine discreetly hidden from the main gathering space. The bandits have managed to incorporate basic amenities, however crude, into their hidden tavern, demonstrating a pragmatic approach to maintaining a semblance of normality. Wow, that was a lot of descriptions, but it really should mean you can use this map or make your own version. Now, I haven't given description for the hallways or for the stairs up and down, as you will need to decide whether these are passable or not. You may want a multi-level dungeon dive, and then the next level down can be created and described. As always, please help us make more videos for you. It's free and easy. Hit that like button and sub if you want more. Leave a comment below to tell me what you would like to see next. And as always, may the dice ever be in your favour.